Are you planning to convert your foreign driver's license to a German driver's license? Then this video is for you. Hi everyone, I'm Nadine and welcome back to our channel. Jessie will not be joining us today because for today's topic, I will be discussing how to convert your foreign driver's license to a German driver's license. So I will be talking about the step-by-step process, my experience in converting my Philippine driver's license, how much did it cost, and a bit of tips. Let's get started. So depending on where you obtain your driver's license, you may or may not be required to take the theory or practical exam. So I will be sharing the link in the description box on where you can check if you are required to take the theory and practical exam or not. So in my case, since I had a Philippine driver's license, I needed to take the theory exam and practical exam. So what I did first, I went to a driving school to inquire about the process in converting your driver's license and inquire also how much would it cost me. So from there, the requirements that you will need to submit at the Bürgeramt or the Rathaus are the following. First is passport, the copy of your passport or ID, and then the second one is one passport photos. Next is the presentation of your foreign driver's license. So it should be valid and you should have the original copy with you. Next is you must also have attended the first aid class. You can check Red Cross or other driving school also have the first aid class. They will give you a certificate to prove that you have attended the class. So this class cost me 30 euros. Next is translation of your foreign driver's license to German. In my case, my license was in English, but I took a risk not to get it translated because I read that sometimes if it's in English, they would already accept the license. But of course, to be sure, maybe you should just get your license translated. Next is confirmation of your registration from the Bürgeramt or the Anmeldebestätigung. So you need to bring a copy of it, and also you need to get an eye test. So I had my eye test at Filman and it didn't cost me anything. So I think that's a good idea to go to Filman and ask for the eye test there. So after you gather the requirements, you will need to submit it at the Bürgeramt or Rathaus. You will also be paying, in my case, I paid 42.6 euros for the processing of the conversion of your driver's license. Also, you might get asked if you want to get your driving license exam from DECRA or TÜV. I took my exam with TÜV. So once you have submitted all your requirements, you will just need to wait until you receive a letter that you are already able to take your theory exam. So in my case, I submitted my requirements on July 22, 2019 and received the letter from them on September 8, 2019. So it took about more than a month before I received the letter. So while waiting, you will need to register at a driving school. So if you're looking for a driving school, it's better to check the reviews of the school. In my case, the driving school was just recommended to me by my aunt because she knows the owner of the driving school. And I didn't check their reviews, which was a bad idea because, well, I'll be sharing my story later in this video. So I registered at the driving school and the school admission fee for me was 75 euros. So once you're registered, if you're converting your license, you're not required to take the theoretical lessons. You don't need to attend the classes. But if you want to, you can. They will also give you an app, and this one will contain all the 1,000 plus questions that you can practice with. So from this 1,100 questions, only 30 from it will be in the exam. You will first need to pass the theory exam before you are able to take the practical driving lesson. Once you receive the letter, it will be stated there how much do you need to pay for the theory and the practical exam. I received the letter on September 27, but at that time I I still wasn't prepared. I haven't gone through all the questions, and so I decided to take the exam early January or February. But then at that time, we already had the lockdown. It got extended until I finally was able to take the theory exam on May 29th. Yeah, so I had a lot of time to go through all the questions. For the theory exam, you can just drop by at the testing center with the letter, the ID, and the amount to pay, or you could also pay beforehand. The theory exam costs 22 euros and 49 cents. At the exam, one question could be equivalent to 4 points, 3 points, 5 points, 2 points, and you are only allowed to get 10 points as mistakes. So for me, I got lucky because my mistakes were exactly equivalent to 10 points. So I think with the theory exam, it's just a mix of preparation and luck. Once you have passed the theory exam, you can go back to your driving school and present the letter that shows that you have passed the theory exam. And then from there, you can book your driving lessons. When I inquired like how many driving lessons does someone who just wants to convert their driver's license need to take, and I was told that I may need to take 4 to 5 lessons, but to my surprise, I ended up taking 9 lessons. This will be decided by your driving instructor. Okay, so for the driving practice sessions, in my case, each session is around 80 minutes, and one session cost me 66 euros. So I just want to share a little story when I had my driving practice sessions, so you won't be shocked if you might experience this. So on my first day, the instructor was still nice, and okay, he was just looking, watching me, observing how I drive, and then after that, he told me the habits that he didn't like, and mostly all the mistakes that I was making. On my second session with my instructor, he was quite he was a bit rude. Like he would say, "Oh, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that?" I was so stressed because I was driving, and then he was just like talking, and it was really a shock to me because of course the driving style here is different. And since he is an instructor, I expect him to teach me, not to scold me. So okay, the day ended, and the secretary at the driving school was on leave, so I couldn't complain to the secretary about this instructor and so on. And I just like felt really down that day. So in my third session, I decided to talk to my instructor. I told him how I felt during our second session. He told me because he already experienced a lot of foreigners who are not listening to him, and so he said he had enough of foreigners. Of course, I calmed myself and I told him not to generalize everyone. If he encountered someone who was rude or didn't listen to him, then don't generalize it. I told him I want to learn. I may not know the correct way, so I'm expecting him to tell me how I should do it, and yeah, and I will listen. After that, after I told him those things, he became nicer. So I think if you encounter that, maybe you also try to talk to your instructor first. Also, that's why I was saying to check the reviews on Google first. Since we're just converting our driver's license, you're not required to take Sonderfahrten. So if your instructor says you're required to take Sonderfahrten, then it's best to call the school, because in my case, my instructor, he told me that I need to take Sonderfahrten. I decided to call the school, so I called them and I confirmed if I needed to take Sonderfahrten, and then they told me I didn't need to take it. So I informed them that my instructor told me that I needed to take it, even though I'm just like converting my license. So there. Because if you take the Sonderfahrt, it will cost you around 600 plus. So it's better if you also watch YouTube videos at home. You can type Fahrschule or Führerschein Prüfung, because if you type driving test in Germany, there aren't many videos that will pop up. So it's better to type the German of it. So I will also link in the description box the YouTube channels that helped me in studying for the practical exam. So you also need to take note that at the beginning of the exam, the examiner might also ask you a technical question. I will also put a link in the description box that has helped me in practicing or knowing the technical questions that might be asked and the answers, explanations to these questions. So once your instructor tells you that, okay, you're ready, let's get you a schedule. So he will get you a schedule for your driving exam. So for the practical exam, you will need to pay 91.75 euros. And for the school, I also had to pay 98 euros for the introduction to the exam and 50 euros for 1 hour session before the exam. I took the exam on September 3 and I passed my practical exam on my first take as well. So on the day itself, the examiner will let you know if you have passed or failed the exam. After that, they will already hand you your license, or in my case, the examiner handed me a temporary driver's license. And because I still had my Philippine driver's license with me, so I needed to submit it first to Labo before receiving my German driver's license. So those are the steps that you need to take in converting your foreign driver's license into a German driver's license. So of course, the important question is how much did I spend all in all to get my license converted? So here's the list. So I spent 30 euros for the first aid class, 42.6 euros when I registered at the burger ramp, 75 euros for the school, a total of 594 euros for the 9 sessions, the driving sessions that I had, 22.49 euros for the theory exam, 91.75 euros for the practical exam, then 98 euros for the preparation for the exam, 50 euros for the 1 hour session that I had before my practical exam. So I ended up spending 1,003 euros and 84 cents. So that's why you need to be sure that you will be able to pass it on your first take, because the exam fee is 91.75 euros. That's already like a hefty amount. I hope that this video has helped you. I wish you feel good in taking your exam. Just stay calm, be relaxed, and you know that you have prepared for it, so you